introduce you to our first guest, Roger Moliné. He's co-founder and CEO of Bios Earns, and he joins us live from Barcelona. Roger, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks to you. It's a pleasure to talk with you.
Yes, it's a pleasure to have you join us this afternoon. So wanted to have you on because I find your company simply fascinating and wanted to get a little bit of insight. So Bios Earns, you've created a product that is in so many ways interesting and fascinating, but essentially break it down for us what Bios Earns is and does.
So a Bios is a biodegradable urn that has been designed to convert the remains of people who passed away, the remains of our loved ones, into a living form, such as a tree, for example.
And so really you are taking ashes of a loved one and you can help grow them into a tree, which I find such a remarkable concept. How did you get this idea?
So the idea of Bios is really old, actually. We started working on the company on 2013. That's 3 years and a half ago, more or less. But the idea came on 1997 from Gerard. Gerard is my brother. He's a product designer. And the idea happened one afternoon that he was on the garden planting vegetables with our grandmother. And what happened is that our grandmother found a dead bird laying on the floor. And what she did instinctively, without thinking too much, is take that dead bird, make a hole in the floor, and throw in it both the dead bird and the seeds that she was carrying and planting that day. And this is the action or the reaction that later inspired Gerard to came up with the idea of the Bios. And in 2013, we partnered and we created this company to make this product something real and bringing it to people.
So tell me a little bit about how it all works, because I would think it has to be pretty complicated being able to take ashes and then essentially make everything break down together so life is then created through a seed.
Right, the Bios has been designed to allow the germination and the first stages of growth of a seed or a seedling when those are planted with the ashes, with the cremated remains that we obtain after cremation. The Bios has two different parts. One part where the seed grows and is protected from the ashes during the first steps of growth, and the second part, which is the container of the ashes. And during the decomposition period of the Bios, and this is different according to the place where we planted, the roots of the seed, the roots of the tree start growing through the ashes and start mixing themselves with the soil of the place where we have planted the Bios.
It's absolutely fascinating. So what is the purpose behind this?
So our vision or the company vision is really clear. We work to bring positive emotions to people who suffer from the loss of someone who passed away. We think there are no products in this industry that people buy out of desire. Most of the people buy the products out of need. And we really think that there have to appear companies maybe like ours, maybe companies that create products for people who really find themselves in what's possibly the worst moment of a person's life, the moment that we lose our dad, our mom, brother, or even son and daughter, and create products that let people think why that awful process in human lives needs to happen. And if possible, how can we take something good from it?
And I think also just being able to create life out of that moment and giving people an opportunity. I think it's so amazing to be able to give an opportunity for life to grow out of that difficult moment is something that's really powerful.
Right, I totally agree. I think there is a psychological component that may help someone who is in that process or in that moment at the time that they use the remains to grow a new life and to take care of this new life. We think that it's more about the process of using the Bios, of going to the mountain or in your backyard and spending one day to do that ritual, which is planting a Bios and then taking care of the tree, rather than the result itself. So we totally think that this can be beneficial for someone from a psychological point of view, of course.
And, so often we see people plant trees in people's names who have passed or dedicate trees, that kind of thing. And so then the opportunity to then use a loved one's ashes, it gives it a new perspective. Let me ask you this. What has response been like for people who have used Bios?
It's been amazing. I personally traveled to California in 2015 to meet some of the first people that we delivered visors to and see what happened, what was the reaction. And they were incredibly satisfied by this experience that we were talking about. People described that the moment that we receive the visor, everything changes because when we get those products, for example, we expect something really different. And when someone passes away, we all follow the same path. We go to a funeral home and we follow the steps that are pretty much automatized. But there is people in the world, and I find this something incredible, that in the worst moment of their life, they open a website, they order a visor, and they have the honor and the courage to replace a cemetery by a forest. And this is so game-changing that all of those people clearly show something like a different mindset. And when I've been able to talk with them personally and share the experience behind using a visor, they have all shown a different way to approach this process of life. And they have been amazed by the idea of growing a living thing and being able to take care of it and overcoming all the difficulties and enjoying all the successes after the ritual. And I think that's something that clearly proves that we are doing something that is right for people.
What have you had any response on environmental aspect side of things? Because essentially, you're instead of people, it's a sustainable idea as well. You know, you're planting trees and you're not, and you're using all eco-friendly products. Kind of looking forward to that sustainable side of things as well. Have you had any response on that side of the fence?
I feel that one of the reasons why people buy a visor, and I wouldn't say it's the most important, but it's definitely one, is because it resonates with them from an environmental point of view, right?
Yeah.
Everyone agrees that the common burial practices are not sustainable from an environmental point of view, and the visor does, because it uses cremation, because it reduces all the environmental footsteps, and also because we end up planting a tree. But we haven't had any pronunciation from an organization or an institution that talks or shares their thoughts about it. We just have people that love the idea of having an environmentally friendly and positive impact over this process of the death care industry.
Something else, so you also have another product, the BIOS Incube, which I found pretty interesting. It kind of maintains itself, and people were looking at this product. It kind of created itself out of a different type of demand. Tell me a little bit, and it's very advanced technologically. Tell me a little bit about the BIOS Incube.
Right. So since as the biodissolve is something really simple, it's a product that we make out of recycled materials like cardboard and paper and coconut soil. The biodissolve is totally different. It's a super technological product that has been designed to remain wherever you use it, and shares a different, in some ways, know-how relating to product design. But at the end, it follows, and that's my opinion, of course, the same idea of visor, the idea that we can enhance an experience using the remains of our loved ones. And when we decided to go ahead and develop and design the BIOS Incube, was right at this moment in which we realized that people were more interested in the process of growing the tree and doing it in a place where they have the tree close to them, rather than keeping the remains in somewhere like a cemetery where you go 2 or 3 times per year, having it in your house. And we decided to come up with a product that could explain the story that we can have the remains in our house and they can do something else than sitting an urn in your living room. And this would be growing a tree. And the technology and the science that is necessary to help people with this process of growing the tree.
And I think that's pretty incredible, as well as you were able to come up with the technology so where it waters itself, it keeps itself sustained, and then people are able to have this tree because not everybody has the luxury of having a backyard or being able to go out to a garden or go to a park, like you said. You know, it's tough to be able to get out to a cemetery. So being able to have this tree in your living room or wherever it is, if you live in an apartment building, so to kind of had that demand on its own, I thought that was pretty neat. So multiple options, and it seems, you know, fairly affordable when you are looking at when you're looking at options, whether to bury someone or to have an urn, right around that $140, $150 price point. So it seems like it's pretty affordable. And was that something that was important to you when you're setting out price points?
Totally important. I come from for product design studies, and that's in some way my career. And I think that there are many facts or characteristics that make a good product, a good design, something good. And one of them is the price. It's to be democratic or be honest when you are selling something. And I think that our industry, the death care industry, hopefully doesn't reflect that. We're in an industry that everyone charges as much as possible for the products that they sell. And if not everyone, most of the companies involved in this industry. I think that Bioserve wants to be different, and one of the reasons it has to be different is also because of economic democracy. We need to offer products that they are not valued according to what the market is able to pay, but what they really cost. And aside from the margins that are required for distributors and retailers to offer this product, we only charge for Bioserve and BioSenCube what we really need to charge to make this something available for people.
Exactly. And you've said that this idea has been around for quite some time, but your company is growing. You ship worldwide, but you're headquartered in Barcelona, but you are expanding, correct? Coming this way sometime soon?
We're headed to Los Angeles, so we don't know exactly if that's going to be 4 to 8 months, but we're working to do that, yeah.
Well, congratulations on that.
Thank you very much.
Making your way into America. So that's pretty exciting news. So available for people, doesn't matter where you're located in the world, if you are interested in Bios Urn, you can't get them. You ship all over the place. So congratulations on making